Hello students, in the previous videos we started with aerobic respiration. In that we studied glycolysis. By the end of glycolysis, two molecules of pyruvic acid will be formed. That two molecules of pyruvic acid enters into oxidative decarboxylation, by the end of which two molecules of acetyl coenzyme A is formed. Okay. So now that two molecules of acetyl coenzyme A, which is released into the mitochondrial matrix, enters into cyclic pathway of Krebs cycle. Now let's study that cyclic pathway of Krebs cycle. Okay, so acetyl coenzyme A, which is 2-carbon compound, undergoes condensation with oxaloacetic acid, which is 4-carbon organic acid, resulting in the formation of citric acid, which is 6-carbon organic acid. And the step of condensation is catalyzed by the enzyme citrate synthetase. And here one water molecule is used up in this reaction. So here oxaloacetic acid is 4-carbon compound, acetyl coenzyme A is 2-carbon compound, resulting in the formation of 6-carbon compound, citric acid. Now the citric acid consists of 3 carboxylic acid groups in it. Hence this cycle is also called as TCA cycle, that is tricarboxylic acid cycle, as the first formed product during this cycle is citric acid. This is also called as CAC cycle, that is citric acid cycle, and it is also called as Krebs cycle because it is explained by Hans Krebs, scientist Hans Krebs. Okay, now the citric acid undergoes dehydration into what is aconitic acid. Dehydration is nothing but removal of water molecule, and this step is catalyzed by the enzyme aconitase. Now this aconitic acid undergoes again hydration, and this step is catalyzed by an enzyme cis-aconitase. It undergoes hydration into isocitric acid. So here one molecule of water is consumed. Now this isocitric acid undergoes oxidation or dehydrogenation, which is catalyzed by the enzyme isocitrate dehydrogenase. So when it undergoes oxidation, breakdown, what happens? 2 protons and 2 electrons are released. These 2 protons and electrons are transferred on to NAD+, so that NAD+ is reduced into NADH plus H+. So this is the first step of oxidation in Krebs cycle. It is the second step of oxidation inside the mitochondrial matrix, and it is the third step of oxidation in the entire aerobic respiration. So first step of oxidation in Krebs cycle, that is clear. Second step of oxidation in mitochondrial matrix, because first step of oxidation occurs during oxidative decarboxylation inside the mitochondrial matrix. So this is the second step of oxidation in mitochondrial matrix, and this is the third step of oxidation in the entire aerobic respiration, because first oxidation occurs in glycolysis, during glycolysis, that is in the 6th step of glycolysis, where oxidative phosphorylation occurs, and second step of aerobic respiration occurs inside the during oxidative decarboxylation, which occurs inside the mitochondrial matrix. Okay, third step of oxidation occurs inside the Krebs cycle, that is in mitochondrial matrix only, that is inside the Krebs cycle, during Krebs cycle, which is the first step of oxidation or dehydrogenation of Krebs cycle. Next, by the end of this oxidation, what is formed? Oxalosuccinic acid is formed, which is again 6-carbon compound. Now, all this citric acid, cis-aconitic acid, isocitric acid and oxalosuccinic acid, all these 6-carbon compounds consist of 3 carboxylic acid groups in them. Okay, so all these are tricarboxylic acids. Next, coming to next step of Krebs cycle. Now, this oxalosuccinic acid undergoes decarboxylation by the activity of an enzyme oxalosuccinic decarboxylase into alpha ketoglutaric acid, which is 5-carbon compound. So when it undergoes decarboxylation, one carbon dioxide is released. So one carbon is removed from 6-carbon compound, which results in the formation of 5-carbon compound, that is alpha ketoglutaric acid. Now this alpha ketoglutaric acid consists of 2 carboxylic acid groups in it. Now, this alpha ketoglutaric acid is the only 5-carbon compound formed during Krebs cycle. Now this alpha ketoglutaric acid undergoes oxidative decarboxylation catalyzed by an enzyme alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase. So this alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase enzyme is a multi-enzyme complex which consists of 3 enzymes in it. Those 3 enzymes are, first enzyme is alpha ketoglutarate decarboxylase, second enzyme is alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, third enzyme is alpha ketoglutarate transacetylase. So first enzyme, that is alpha ketoglutarate decarboxylase, is involved in decarboxylation of this alpha ketogluteric acid, so that one carbon dioxide is released. Next, second enzyme is involved in oxidation or dehydrogenation of alpha ketogluteric acid. So due to this oxidation or dehydrogenation, what happens? Protons and electrons are released from alpha ketogluteric acid, which are transferred onto NAD+, so that NAD+ is reduced into NADH plus H+. So that is the function of second enzyme. Now the function of third enzyme is, what is this third enzyme? Alpha ketoglutarate transacetylase. Its function is to transfer coenzyme A group onto this succinic acid, so which becomes succinyl-CoA. So it is involved in the transfer of coenzyme A onto the substrate, which results in the formation of succinyl-CoA. Now this succinyl-CoA is 4-carbon compound. Okay. Now this succinyl-CoA undergoes next step of Krebs cycle, that is cleavage. So due to cleavage, what happens? Coenzyme A is released out of this compound, and during this step, what happens when cleavage occurs? Some amount of energy is released. That energy is trapped by ADP, which is utilized for the combining of ADP with inorganic phosphate, resulting in the formation of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is also called as SLP, substrate level phosphorylation. Okay. Now during this step, one molecule of water is also consumed, and this step is catalyzed by the enzyme succinyl thiokinase. Now this succinic acid, which is formed after the cleavage of succinyl coenzyme A, undergoes next step of Krebs cycle. Now during this step, succinic acid undergoes oxidation. Oxidation is nothing but dehydrogenation. So what happens when dehydrogenation occurs? Protons and electrons are released. Now these protons and electrons which are released from this succinic acid are transferred onto FAD plus now, not NAD plus. FAD plus, so that FAD plus is reduced into FADH2. So what is this? This is the third step of oxidation during Krebs cycle, and fourth step of oxidation during inside the mitochondrial matrix, and fifth step of oxidation in the entire aerobic respiration. Here in case of this oxidation, this step, this is the second step of oxidation during Krebs cycle, and third step of oxidation during inside the mitochondrial matrix, and fourth step of oxidation in the entire aerobic respiration. Right. Next, coming to fumaric acid is formed by the end of oxidation of succinic acid, which is catalyzed by the enzyme succinate dehydrogenase. Now this fumaric acid undergoes hydration into malic acid. Hydration is nothing but addition of one water molecule. So this step is catalyzed by an enzyme fumarase. Now this malic acid undergoes oxidation or dehydrogenation, which is the last step of oxidation of Krebs cycle, and even inside the mitochondrial matrix, which is the last step of oxidation in Krebs cycle. Okay, so here what happens when it undergoes oxidation? 2 protons and electrons are released. These protons are transferred onto NAD+. Now this NAD+ is reduced into NADH plus H+. Okay, and this step is catalyzed, this reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme malate dehydrogenase, resulting in the formation of oxaloacetic acid, which is 4-carbon compound. Now this oxaloacetic acid is ready to undergo condensation with the next incoming acetyl-CoA enzyme A to continue with next cycle of Krebs cycle. So these are the steps involved in Krebs cycle. So here I would like to discuss some questions related to this Krebs cycle. So in Krebs cycle, how many compounds are 6, how many intermediates are 6 carbon compounds? How many? 4. What are they? Citric acid, 6-saccharic acid, isocitric acid and oxalosuccinic acid. Next, how many intermediates are 5 carbon compounds? How many? Only 1. The only 5 carbon compound is alpha ketoglutaric acid in Krebs cycle. Next, how many intermediates are 4 carbon compounds? 4 again. What are they? Succinyl-CoA, succinic acid, fumaric acid and malic acid. Next, how many malic acid and even oxaloacetic acid? 5 totally. Next, how many compounds are 2 carbon compounds? That is acetyl coenzyme A. Only 1. That is acetyl coenzyme A. Okay. So, during this Krebs cycle, how many oxidations occur? How many oxidations? 4 oxidations are taking place. How many oxidations or dehydrogenations are taking place? So, how many? 4 oxidations or 4 dehydrogenations are taking place. At which step? At the 4th step, 6th step, 8th step and 10th step. All even numbers except the 2nd step. So remember all even numbers. What are those steps? At 4th step, 6th step, 8th step and 10th step. Next, how many hydrations occur? How many hydrations occur? Hydrations are okay. How many hydrations are taking place? Hydrations. 4 hydrations are taking place. Where at 1st step, 3rd step, then 7th step and 10th step. At how many steps? 4 steps. That is at 1st step, 3rd step, 7th step, 9th step. All odd numbers. So, at 1st step, 3rd step, 7th step and 9th step except at 5th step. Next, how many dehydrations occur? Dehydrations, only 1 dehydration occurs. Only 1 dehydration, that is at 2nd step. 2nd step, this one. How many dehydrations? 1 dehydration, 2nd step. Next, how many decarboxylations occur? Decarboxylations. How many decarboxylations? 2 decarboxylations. 2 decarboxylations where at 5th step and 6th step. So this is 5th step, here decarboxylation is taking place. This is 6th step, here decarboxylation is taking place. So at 5th step and 6th step. Next, how many SLPs occur? At how many steps during this Krebs cycle SLP occurs? How many SLPs? Only 1 SLP at 1 step. What is that step? That is at 7th step. 7th step. Okay, so this is all about Krebs cycle. In the next video, I'll be explaining about the output or balance sheet of this Krebs cycle. Hope you understood this concept very well. Go through this concept once again and go through the previous videos also where I explained about oxidative decarboxylation and even I explained about the output and balance sheet of oxidative decarboxylation, glycolysis, everything. So go through all the videos one by one and grab the concept and try to solve the questions in easier way within very few seconds and faster.